In this video, we're going to talk about how to hack the brain to persuade anyone at any time. I'm Dr. Dan, I'm a neurostrategist, and I'm going to break this down for you, simplify your next level of success by helping you move people. I've always said this, you can't move mountains in your business unless you learn how to move people. And this is a big one. How can you persuade people, but do it positively, do it ethically, and do it effectively? So as you guys know, if you followed me, I'm a neuro guy. I like the research. It's so crazy. I assess myself all the time. Why do I like the research so much? It's because I like when stuff is proven. I like to know that there's evidence that backs up an idea. And so the irony in me talking about communication is that you may be led to believe that more evidence, more proof, more logic, more facts actually get somebody to be persuaded or can help somebody be open-minded to learning your viewpoint, or more importantly, buying your product, service, or offer. But we're going to find out here in a minute that is not true. And so I want to shine some light on some research from the Ohio State University. I'm a Big Ten guy. I'm a Nebraska Cornhusker, so they're kind of my arch rival in one way. But I respect them because they're in the Big Ten. But here's what happened. Research was done at Ohio State that looked at two groups of people, and they wanted to shine light on unwanted pregnancies or birth control. And so they showed one group a news station with all the facts and data and logic as it pertains to unwanted pregnancy. Even the unwanted, very harmful, kind of crazy facts and stats. Stuff that you think would open your mind and implore you to think differently, turns out did not have the amount of effect that one other thing did on the other group, and that is showing them a drama. A show by the name of The OC was shown to this other group. I'm not sure what that show is. I have heard of it before. I can't say that I've watched an episode, but the reality was researchers found that college-age women who viewed the television drama about a teen pregnancy felt more vulnerable 2 weeks after watching the show, and this led to more support using birth control. So clearly the objective was, can we open their minds to something that could happen so that they would change their belief and behavior? That was the ultimate goal. I want you to think about your business. I want you to think about your mission. I want to think about your message. What are you trying to get people to do? You can look at comments and threads of people communicating emotionally charged thoughts and beliefs and how effective it is at turning someone's viewpoint, right? You know what I'm talking about. Like, you can see this all over the place. And that's why I'm telling you, the point of this video is to hack the brain. I'm not just talking about some theory, we're hacking the brain. What is the brain wired to do? Well, it turns out that a message that is hidden inside of a story overcomes the resistance people have to being told how to behave or what to believe. This is why, listen to me right here, listen. This is why you must nail the ability to tell a story and tell it well. When you communicate with facts, you get yourself in trouble because the brain is actually resistant to facts if the facts don't align with their current belief system. And I'm guessing that you're trying to get somebody to maybe open to a different point of view or a different belief or a different behavior. If you're going to get them to buy into you, into your model, into your product, service, or offer, chances are they're not currently doing it. And so then you have to be able to reach their brain in a way that it would be open to it. Well, facts would not be your best source. I have been there before. If you told me this 20 years ago, I would have said, you are crazy. I just need enough time and enough facts, and I'll get anybody. If I could get proof, if I could get evidence, if I get logic, if I get reasoning, if I can get research, I will win. It turns out I would be wrong. But there's something better. And just like the Ohio State research pointed out, facts tell, stories sell. If you're going to get somebody to believe something different, to be sold into something, and to change their mindset, you've got to use a story. In fact, there was other science I was recently reading that showed when somebody's viewpoints are challenged with facts, they will literally resist them to the same degree as if they would resist a bear attacking them. Fight or flight. That means your entire body physiology changes where you literally have to fight or you're gonna run. You're not convincing them, you're not persuading them of anything. At best, they're gonna have a neutral opinion. At worst, you're gonna get in a fist fight. So this is where facts get us in trouble. This is where facts get you in trouble, and I have been in trouble a lot of times because it was always my analytical understanding that if I had enough time with somebody, I could prove why they need to believe this way, behave this way, change this way, buy this thing. And it turns out I was wrong, and experience has proven that to be true. And I know that you feel the same way. Like, you can sense, when you go after something with facts, you just don't get the response that you could if you showed vulnerability, if you told a story, if somebody else actually saw themselves doing what you did. That's when the game changes. And that's why this is the ultimate hack to persuade others anytime, anywhere, with anything. So the power of story actually forces the brain in a nice way to do 3 things that no other form of communication can ever do. Number 1, people see themselves in the story. When you tell the story appropriately, they see themselves in it. It's called neural coupling. There are neurons in the brain called mirror neurons. Is when they hear a story, it hits the exact same areas of the brain as if they were living out that story. This is why you can watch a movie like Rocky and want to go out and hit bags or run in the snow or do the things that Rocky does, because it hits the mirror neurons that makes you want to be like that. Well, it turns out when you tell a story, if you can tell it the right way, people want what you have because they see themselves in your shoes. This is where the rubber meets the road, because it helps their brain open up to a truth they couldn't see before, but because they are literally experiencing it through your story, they are open to it rather than killing them with facts that they are prone to resist. Number 2, a story validates them. People buy because they feel understood, not because they understand. They feel like you know who they are, what they need, and the solutions they're gonna get. And you've done the same thing. Think about your buying behavior. If you walk into somewhere, you wanna feel understood. You wanna make sure that person knows who you are, your unique plight, your unique journey, your unique circumstances. And when you feel understood, you're more likely to invest your time, your money, and your resources to actually getting that solution. So it turns out a story actually makes somebody feel understood. And the other thing it does is helps establish your motive. Left to their own devices, people are gonna think your motive is about money, your bank account, and your own self and your own success. But in reality, why you do what you do has more to do with your own journey and you wanting to help others avoid what you went through or overcome the challenges that you were able to overcome. This is why your story is going to sell even to the most closed-minded people you never thought you could persuade. And the third thing a story does that no other communication can do is it increases trust. Research done out of Santa Clara, California showed that when you tell a story the right way, it increases oxytocin, which is the trust hormone or a bonding hormone. And when this happens, people are more likely to buy from you. In fact, in one study, it showed a 3,800% increase in the value of a product because it was attached to a story. So the consumers had a higher value in the product and were willing to pay more, all because the product was attached to a story. And this is the value that a story brings to the table, literal value that it brings. Now, there's 2 key elements: is every story must have doubt and distress. And I teach my clients exactly how to do this. If you ever need any help with this, please let us know, because telling a story is one thing, but telling a story the right way that literally bypasses the resistance of the brain is another thing. And it turns out this research at Ohio State, where they watched the OC, it did just that. It bypassed all the skepticism and resistance, and these subjects were able to not only change their belief, but change their behavior because of it. So I'll come back to the main question: how do you hack the brain to persuade anyone at any time? And the answer is, you gotta tell a story. Facts tell, stories sell. If you're gonna sell somebody on your idea, your belief, your product, your service, or any offer you have, if you can wrap it in story, I'm telling you, the brain cannot resist it. So your next level of growth in business, in life, in your finances, and in all your relationships will occur because of your ability to tell better stories. So there you have it. Next time, I'm gonna be looking for some research from the University of Nebraska, my school, instead of Ohio State. But in the meantime, make sure you tell them other stories. If you need help with it, let us know. Dr. Dan, out.